Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. Welcome and congratulations. Your reading is activated. These are timeless readings. And so whenever you click on the reading and get it going on it, it is activated. Okay. Now, this is being recorded on October 29th, 2025, and will be put out on October 30th, 2025. I just like to put that in the video now so you know when it was recorded. Okay. Because that might change. You know, you get on your whatever, memories app, whatever, go back. I write a lot of stuff down in my calendar and like what I've done that day. And that might change what the reading feels like to you, because you might look back and think, oh yeah, that was on a day that was real bad, or whatever. So the good news is we're dwelling in the Six of Cups energy, Capricorn. This is all about pleasure. Pleasure, 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 pleasure. You can see that the lotus flowers are coming up and they are kind of hanging over top of the cups, and they're filling each one up with that sweet, sweet amaret, right? Amarita, or mana, or ambrosia, soma. And so filling our emotional vessels just completely, right? This is a place that feels good for the most part, right? It's also a place we have to be very careful, because we can get into that swampy debauch, that overconsumption, overindulgence, that pleasure-seeking thing that gets activated, and you get into a cycle of seeking it out. Which, yeah, okay, yeah. I think all of us kind of do that sometimes. But we have to be careful when we get into places. I know, I'm kind of a cynic, maybe. When something really good happens, I'm not like catastrophizing, like, oh, it's going to be balanced out by something really bad. But definitely thinking like, don't let me drop the ball here. Don't let me get swept away in the enchantment of life going swell. Because nothing lasts forever, does it? So we must always be prepared. So just keep that in mind as we talk through this energy. And, ooh, look at that. It says sin. Right here. S-I-N. Sin. Wow, that looks like a 2 as well, but it's the I and then the N. Okay, so it also looks like 524. And it's interesting because we have a 4 upright on this side, and then we have a 4 over here that is upside down, or it is HH. HH. We're definitely dealing with some kind of Sagittarius energy. You can see that right in here. And I want to say thank you for clicking on the reading. Thank you for being here. It feels so nice to commune with you. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, it really helps the channel a lot. Also, my question, I often have questions because I'm nosy. But not judgy. I just want to know the things. I don't want to judge the things so much. You know what I mean? I want all the infos. Give me all the datas. I'm asking everybody, what is your favorite art piece? It doesn't matter what the medium is. You can put the creator, the artist, the title. Or a lot of people have just been sharing, what is your favorite medium? Painting, music, whatever. Yeah. I like looking at art. I do. I do always say, And you can go back in my first readings. I was saying it then too. Everybody should be spending 30 minutes a day looking at art or experiencing art in some fashion. If that means you're sitting in your room listening to music, if you are going to a museum or looking at, Tumblr, researching art movements, whatever, we should all be experiencing it at least 30 minutes a day, probably more. But I think that art is that thing. It's kind of like, in my mind, it is one of the philosopher's stones because it transcends all things, right? Like art is something that can speak to people in all varieties of life. Not every piece, some things are contextual, but I do think it is a great equalizer. And it's profoundly moving because it's so sensory, depending on, the medium. But yeah, I think that's super important. Now, let's get back to it. We have 92 right here, and we have a heart. So if anybody knows what 92 means, if you're a numerologist or you just like numbers and meanings, tell me what you think it means in the comments. Let me know. For me, it really is that like on the cusp of agape, which agape is, I think, a Sanskrit word, and maybe not. I don't know. I'm not going to get my phone. I'm not getting into my phone. I don't trust myself to not start wandering. But it means love, right? Love with God or the divine. If you could think of like the saints, Saint Teresa is one of my patron saints, Saint Teresa of Avila. She wrote a lot about active imagination and interior work, but she also was one of the saints that would succumb to fits of ecstasy as related to Jesus Christ and, in relation God or the Father. And this is agape. I mean, it doesn't always look like that, but it is an undeniable connection, belovedness, trust in whatever deity, or maybe it's not a deity, I don't know, whatever it is for you. And I feel that in this time with that 92 in the heart, and then we have that Sagittarius down here, it almost kind of makes me wonder if you have joined some kind of spiritual community, or if you've been thinking about it. Maybe you have a friend that is drawing you in. Or, not drawing you in, that sounds like a cult or something, but, trying to get you to come to service or, whatever, come to temple, this Friday or whatever it is. And I feel like this is not the key, but it is one of the doorways, right? This is leading you towards the path that you are trying to either return to or establish, okay? So I see in this next period of time, you spending a great deal of energy within your spiritual practices, your religious practices, your faith, your service, in relationship to the work that you're doing. And I feel this almost kind of monk-like mentality, like you're going into this next season just totally devoted to the idea that you are going to be a person that is living in their faith. You are going to be a person who is of service to your community. You are going to be a person of virtue, integrity, conviction, grace, all of these beautiful things. I assume that you're getting older or you are older. A lot of these things are not very of interest to most people when they are young, right? Now, that is a sweeping generalized statement, of course, but I have to say, the older I get, the more spiritual I realize my peer group is or is becoming. And I find that to be a beautiful thing. And so I wonder if maybe you're getting a little older and you're starting to really, I don't know. I guess I'm going to put my personal opinion here, is that the older I get, the more I realize there are very few things in life that allot me actual peace and happiness. There are tons of things that I believe or I hope will bring me peace and happiness, but they don't. One of them is money. Now, having enough money to live is important, of course, but I'm saying anything beyond that, you think that's going to make you happy or make your life peaceful and at ease, it's not. You have to be on that journey already, right? So, I feel like for you, in this period of time, you are readjusting your life. You are going into yourself. You are finding kinship in these practices, in this work. And it is the work. I say it a lot here. And I love when I hear other people within, I don't know, whatever, divination or spiritual, occult content, whatever. When somebody is really going hard on, you got to do the work, Yes, it is. It's all about the work. I think that we're fed this idea from a young age that we need to get our lives on track so we can, just run the marathon so that we can get to towards the end and we can retire, we can become a little more idle, and so on and so forth, right? And that, it sounds great if it could, if it works out. But I am so opposed to the idea that we slow down. Now, naturally we will. I feel myself today. My knees are wild. My husband and I just started jujitsu the other day. And yes, I feel like I need to go slower because, I'm getting older and I'm sore. And that's fine. But you know what? Doing all of this so I can just get to a place where I do nothing, it's like giving myself the worst present when I finally accomplish everything that I want to. Doing the work, whatever the work is, if it is in your career, if it is your creative work, if it is within your family, your community, spiritual work, occult work, whatever it is, these are the things that keep us going. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that stress you to the core and your cortisol is out of control. No, I'm talking about the things that really, really align us with our true will, with our purpose for being here, why we chose to manifest in these fleshy bodies, right? And so I feel this great love, this wanting to align with spirit, and realizing that this is not just like a sprint. This isn't even a marathon. This is an expression of the divine playing out in the theater of your life. And so I feel that you have chosen to honor that. I also feel like, and I probably never got to this point earlier, but you look around, and I was saying, yeah, you're looking for things to fill you up, to make something make sense, to find some kind of deeper meaning to all of it. Obtaining and then becoming idle or coveting whatever you've obtained, or, whatever. None of this is going to help that work. So I see you coming into the realization that you have chosen a path that is for life. You don't retire from the good work. It's not something that you quit doing. So, we also have, it looks like, HB and a P up there. We have HB, and then up here is a P. And another H down here. Lots of H energy. We also have this large flower. I kept looking at that and I keep forgetting to say anything. Very much reminds me of a beginning, right? Like the lotus opening in that endless aether, the ocean of potential, and the flower emerges and the bud opens slowly and we are revealed life. And so it begins again for you. I feel like this is going to be the beginning of the second part, maybe the third part. I don't know how many acts you have going, or how many, what is it, scenes? Oh yeah, acts and scenes. Which one is the smaller one? Yes, acts. I imagine that you have a few, I hope. But I do feel like you are entering a new portion. And it is a new beginning. Now, I think a lot of this has to do with your spiritual relationship with God or spirit or something like this. Now, we have a mountain range. We also have the number up there. It looks like 477 and then another 4 over here again. We talked about that one earlier. But now down here, it looks like, it reminds me almost of like pioneers with their wagons. Like here's a horse, here's another horse, here's another one, and they're all kind of in this mountain range. We have the stars in the sky. And we have a person sitting over here, waiting. Now we also have a tower right here. And we have the number 70. So it feels like to me that there's somebody in your life who is having like a tower moment. They're having a crisis. They're having, something really go wrong. It feels self-inflicted to some degree. Not that they thought this would happen, but I feel like there's almost a sense of like maybe carelessness or getting too comfortable or something like that. And I feel like for you, it's hard to feel a lot of empathy. And I don't think you're somebody who lacks empathy by any means, but I think that this is almost like you've seen this person like causing trouble in their own lives and then playing victim to whatever repercussion emerges. And I think you're just kind of at a place where you've had it with them. Now, I do feel like there is a wanting to move. Now, I don't know if that's like a physical location or if you, really like are just leaving like a friends group, or you have kind of lost contact with some of your family members or whatever it is. But I feel like you're just at a place where it's not even that you're like angry anymore. I think you're just so fed up with a lot of things that you're just not willing to deal with whatever BS is coming your way. right? And so I think that, setting those boundaries, it might make people around you feel like, oh, why are you being so mean? But the reality is you're protecting your peace. You're protecting your space that is sacred, right? You're protecting your vitality. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I am a big fan of, I shouldn't say that out loud. I'm a big fan of walking away from people, honestly. I mean, not like it's, like I set relationships up so I can leave them, but I absolutely cannot, I just cannot abide painful relationships or ones that, I don't know, make me feel shame. And it's not like the person's making me feel shame, but something about them or the way they talk or behave or, their own things. We've all been in places like that where, you just don't want to say certain things to somebody because it makes you feel, insecure or, you've seen them kind of put other people down for similar things or whatever it is. And the reality is, like, who wants that in their life? I'll do it if, like, my daughter, if I had to, be super careful with her as an adult about things, and I would do it for her. I might even do it for my husband. I wouldn't like it, but I might even do it for him. But anybody else, are you kidding me? Why? Why would I want to, like, spend time worrying about being in a good spot with somebody? Like, like constantly having to, like, check on that. I don't like that. So I feel like for you, it just really, I think that you just really want things to be easier and mean something. Feel like something, And maybe it doesn't have to be the most meaningful, profound thing in your world or universe, but to just feel something authentic. I don't know where we find that anymore besides the love we have with our kids and God or goddess or, the divine. For me, it's like all the things, right? Like a hodgepodge. But that is the only place besides with my daughter that I feel complete, unconditional love and security. And I hope that you have that as well. I hope that you find that within this journey, within, your maybe reconnecting or establishing your faith. Now, we have, it looks like, now, so to me, it looks like it's saying tap. It looks like an upside down T and then A. Oops, I just touched that thing. TAP, right? TAP. So it looks like TAP to me. And almost kind of like a map. And then there's an X, like right there, like a little road X, and then tap. We also have the number 47. And we have somebody carrying water right there. We also have some kind of, it almost looks like a honey pot and I don't know, Winnie the Pooh? Are we dealing with Winnie the Pooh here? we have a hummingbird, and we have another pot. So I'm going to read this as, I feel like in this next period of time, there's going to be an opportunity for you to be making some money. That's why we have that map. It looks like a treasure map. And I feel like there's, the tap thing, I don't know. Maybe it's an actual sound. Maybe, it's like turning on the tap. I'm not exactly sure about that. But I do feel like this new opportunity, why am I putting this over here? This new opportunity will be something that not only brings some financial stuff, money, resources, but I also feel like it is related to your spiritual work. And the honey is the mana, right? Like we talked about, spilling into the cup. It is the dew of the gods. And it is the thing that, it's the thing within the subtle, right? It's the thing that we are looking for, which oftentimes is coded for, again, agape. It's having a profound and divine love, and ultimately a union with the divine. We call this the chemical wedding, okay, or the alchemical wedding. And it's the merging of two opposites, right? The solar, the lunar gives birth to the star, which is purpose, the ultimate purpose or goal. And so I feel like for you, it's like this return to who you are before all of the things, the accomplishments, the, bad decisions or wrong decisions or the snafus and the accidents and the pickles you've been in. Before all of that, there's a sense of being able to see yourself again as a child of God or the divine or spirit. To be that kind of wide-eyed, open, awe, a desire for exploration, curiosity, and the ability to just love, to love so deeply. I always have to stop myself. Like, it really, I get very confused about which way to go with this, because my daughter, right, she's 5, and she will get attached to things, right, like objects or a toy or, I don't even, she really is into making art. So, like, I'll find stuff all over that's like a piece of a cardboard box, and she's, like, painted a picture on it or whatever. And she's beloved to it, right? It's, if that thing moves, she will be upset, right? Rightfully so. But I, as a mother, as a being that dwells in both the material and the other, I don't like to emphasize our connections to the material world all the time, right? Or the things that populate it. And the items, I should say, the objects. And yet, as I see her having these profound connections, I realize, like, her capacity to love goes beyond needing it to be some kind of overtly conscious and sentient being that can interact with me, and then therefore I could love it, like a dog or another human being, right? And young people have this ability because they don't have that thing yet, that barrier that says, nope, can't be in love with that, can't love that because that's, it's fake, it's man-made, it's whatever. So I get into this like loop of what do I say? Like, don't covet your things so much. Like, it's not that important. We can get other things. Or, good for you for being able to love so deeply. Sorry I moved your cardboard. I don't know. If you have advice, put it in the comments because I need it. Let's see, where are we going? We're going to do our lucky numbers. 70 is our first. 70. 4 is the next. 44 is the one after that. So we have 3 4s and the number 70. And now I'm just going to say I love you. Thank you for being here with me, Capricorn. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, I want to say again, I love you. Take care. We'll talk soon.